Good morning, everybody. My name is Kit Lancaster here, continuing our eGuru series, talking about veterans, veteran business owners. I'm here with David Piatek. David is a military veteran, Army veteran. David, tell us, where are you from originally?
I grew up in the city. Then I moved down to the Fox Lake area. Then as soon as I can get out, I came back over here, back in the city. So when I was about 19 years old.
Very nice. When did you join the Army?
I joined in St. Patty's Day 2009.
Really? Yeah. What compelled you to join?
It's something I've always wanted to do because I started my business when I was 18, so I really didn't have an opportunity to go. My grandma used to always talk about the war. She was in World War II, my grandfather as well. And my grandfather was actually shot in the head during World War II, but lived. So he's passed away now. But so just that kind of whole thing, and just them talking about it. Your service really does make a difference to people. Like people just don't realize what that does. So for them, they used to live under bridges, just eat bread, and just be scared all the time. So it's kind of a way to give back to the people.
So with what you're doing now, tell our audience, you're in real estate, help people with different aspects of lending. How did you get into that industry?
So I worked at, when I was 17, I worked at a bank and just saw how the mortgages were being done, and I really just liked it. I just took a taking to it. And so, like around when I was 18 years old, I finished up school and I opened up my own company. So it's ENG Lending. So I did that for a couple of years, and then we grew to a 29-person company. We were in multiple states, and then I got out of when the market crashed. I got out, and that's why I went to the Army school and then got back into the business.
Very nice. Now with ENG Lending, what makes you guys different?
ENG Lending, we're a direct lender, so we're able to fund our own deals. We have a lot more control. You basically deal with me all the time, so you're not working with assistants, or you're not, having to follow up with multiple people. You're directly working with myself. For us to get back to you, return your phone calls pretty quick. Great customer service, and a lot of people discount that. Because pretty much rates are flat across the board for everybody. So, going from one lender to another lender, minimal difference. It's going to be the person you're working with, and if you feel confident. They explain everything to you. They go through the process. They go to the closing. They kind of hold your hand through the whole process because, it's, as you know, buying a house is pretty frustrating, or it can be if you're not working with the right team.
So with that, what you're doing today, how has your military training and your military experience had an impact on what you do professionally?
I would say, Professor, it's definitely helped me just to get out of my comfort zone. That's definitely one of the biggest things, because going in, you're scared. I'm sure you know as well, because there's so many things that happen. New experiences that you have. You're just like, wow. Before I was just like, no, I just kind of want to stay in my bubble, and now it's, I kind of just open-minded. I kind of take things on I don't want to do, things I don't like. I'll try, just at least I know what it is. What that experience, transpires to like my experiences now. So. A lot of times it helps when I'm doing like cold calling. Those are the things you don't want to do, or going to certain events, or you just don't have no interest in, just because it could further your career, or you might meet the person that you could build a great business relationship with.
With that, is there a particular event when you were in the service that you remember, either after you went through that event or that training, or just before you went into it, that you knew that's like the moment your mind changed and you became more open-minded?
There's some funny ones, but I won't share those.
Okay.
But no, I think just overall the experience that I had was just eye-opening. I remember a lot of it. I kept like a journal when I was in a lot of my trainings and stuff like that. But it's really the camaraderie you have with people. I didn't experience that until I was in the Army. Just like it's unreal. The kind of bonds you have, and a lot of the guys still now, we're friends. A lot of guys in my unit, because I'm still in the National Guard, and those experiences you can't replace those. Like the way you bond. I work with those guys professionally still. We work together, from Army and also on the civilian side. So you just can't beat that.
It's a great experience. I definitely know what you mean when you talk about that camaraderie. For some of our friends out there in the armed services that are either transitioning out. Maybe they're looking to get in specifically to do mortgage brokerage or in different aspects of real estate. Is there one piece of advice that you could leave them or you'd like to give them today that maybe you wish you knew when you started, or could help them in their journey to figure out if this is a great course of action for them to partake professionally.
Right. And I would give this advice to pretty much anybody, just like my brother just gives advice. It's definitely good to get in touch with people like on LinkedIn and talk with them. Find out if it's something that you really want to do, because you can't just hear someone say like, "Oh, this is something I do for a living," and are you going to like it or not? So, I mean, to transition to something like that, I would work for somebody for a week or two, do an internship. Most people will, they're always looking for free help. And especially if you're good and you're ambitious, you're going to be able to at least get a good gauge for the industry and if it's something you want to do. Obviously, nothing's going to happen overnight. And that's, the other piece of advice is patience. Anything you do or try, it's going to take a little while to get going. You're a financial advisor yourself. I mean, it didn't happen in a couple of weeks. It takes years of work, of hard work, and doing your follow-ups, being patient, just like a relationship.
I would agree. It does. You got to put the time in.
Right.
With that, David, we really appreciate your time today. And what is your website for our viewers at home to check out?
It's ENGLending.com.
I'm Kit Lancaster, and thank you very much for joining us here at MeetAdvisors.com to find more interviews for veterans that are going through transition and other individuals and professionals that may aid you. Check us out at MeetAdvisors.com. Thank you.